name is Laurenz Casser, and I'm a Leverhulme Early Career Fellow at the University of Sheffield, and I'm a fellow here at the Center for Philosophy of Science at the University of Pittsburgh. My research falls largely within the history and philosophy of science, with special emphasis on the philosophy of cognitive science and the philosophy of medicine. And most of my work up to date has been on foundational questions in the study of pain, such as what is the function of pain, can pain experiences ever be false, how are pain systems organized, and can we ever accurately measure pain? For what it's worth, philosophers haven't really had much to say about pain until very recently, and in fact the prevalent view since the 1960s has been that pain is really just to be understood as a perceptual modality analogous to vision, hearing, and touch. And so if you wanted to understand pain, you don't really have to go very far. You can just look at those modalities which we're already studying. But much of my work has been trying to show this actually is a false view of pain, that pain is quite idiosyncratic and that it deserves a lot of philosophical attention in its own right. In fact, I would argue that our understanding of the mind today is worse off because we haven't really been paying enough attention to pain, which isn't even to speak of the fact that loads of people suffer from painful conditions tremendously, partly because we don't understand pain well enough. So there's a lot of reasons for philosophers to be interested in this topic. While I'm here at the center, I'm working on a new project about pain measurement, which is an interesting topic not just for scientific reasons, but also because it has tremendous political consequences. In fact, before anyone was ever using pain measurement devices to figure out how much pain their patients were feeling or to do some science with, people were using those devices to demonstrate differences between different types of people in terms of how much they were hurting. And so for a long time there has been this persistent thought throughout the history of medicine that certain individuals, and especially certain groups of individuals, usually differentiated by their race and gender, feel more pain than others. Stereotypically, the idea is meant to have been that people of color experience less pain than white people, and that women experience more pain than men do. And troublingly, these ideas continue to influence contemporary medical practice and pain science to this day, and continue to be investigated. And my research on this topic is trying to show that really there has never been any compelling evidence for any of those claims, that no one has ever shown any of the groups in question to hurt more or to hurt less than any other. In fact, the measurement outcomes and the differences between measurement outcomes that people think exist are actually spurious, inconsistent, and contradictory, both within and across different research projects. And I also want to point out that even if you did find some differences in how people react to painful stimuli, those differences could really be explained in all sorts of ways, but they needn't implicate that there are differences in how sensitive people are to pain at all. And so my hope for this research project is that it will lead pain scientists to reconsider some of the ways in which they're researching pain, and that they will find new ways of researching pain that will be beneficial to everyone.